Randy right here. So we're discussing about an EVAP that we have in a vehicle. But I am probably on these cars. It's a 1.4. I'm not 100%, probably 80% because it gave me different dynos. But at the end of the day, I know for a fact these guys have a little crack on the turbo on the bottom. And you know why? You know why I believe is that, Randy? I tell you why. Because the mechanic that have this car, when I got it for the guy, right? He told me they couldn't shut the light off. That's why they got the black on the title, and that's why they couldn't pass inspection. So you know what that means? That I need a brand new turbo so I can install it on that vehicle. Towards right now it's like $200. But then we gotta make certain that we all that stuff out, making sure everything comes clean because sometimes those screws broke. Bam! And we don't want that to happen. But we're doing a different diagnosis. We went down to the because it said on the code said catalytic efficiency. A lot of people go ahead and go and buy a brand new catalytic converter, and at the end of the day, that's not the problem.
Yeah, there's plenty of pressure coming out of this one. I don't see anything wrong with the cat.
So the only thing that only will be able to check that out is remove all that stuff out and check that cap. We're gonna put a brand new cap in there because I don't want to put a brand new cap because I know I already checked the back and I don't have no residue of carbon monoxide on it. That tells me that the injection is efficient. So that means it's not sending anything, nothing dirty to the catalytic converter. So it's impossible that my system on the catalytic converter is dirty because it wouldn't been dirty, it wouldn't be carbon to the muffler. It's simple as that. So it's impossible to be through this system. It could be through that stupid system right there. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Look, Ren, you see the no, you see the cat, you see the cat.
Mm-hmm.
The turbo, you see that right here?
Mm-hmm.
You see it right there? You see this thing right here where this goes on the bottom? It got a little crack inside. I explained it to you. Remember the little piece up
So
both?
you got to change the
whole,
manifold.
the turbo comes completely, the whole thing completely with all the stuff. Everything comes together for $200. So might as well get that and get the boot.
And how do you test it to find out if it is the turbo? There's going to be a way.
Away?
A way to test, see if it's the turbo.
Simply. You just got to do a compression test.
What? Why does that have anything to do with the turbo? I got a compression test there, but I don't see what difference it makes.
Because we got legs. We got a leg in here.
Air leak.
If.
That's an air leak.
Right.
When that's
it's vacuum in.
So the compressions inside the block ain't gonna change anything.
You're right.
You see
Water.
what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. But at the end, it's okay.
There's got to be another way to test it.
Because, but you follow what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we have a carbon in the system, the pistons going down, you're gonna see it directly under the pipe. Am I wrong?
Oh yeah.
You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's
But
not these then.
It's got nothing to do with the turbo.
Where's leaking from?
It could be.
I'm diagnosing
But they
only
gotta
this
have
system.
another test where you take this cap off and plug something into it, and it
And see-
tells you if the motor is sealed.
Makes sense. Now what we're talking about.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So what you're doing right now is nickeling and diming yourself.
Right.
Because you don't know what's wrong yet.
Right. Makes sense. But
So then are the tests that we got to figure out how to do. You know what I mean?
no, I know exactly what you mean.
If the valve cover leaks, it's sucking raw vacuum for the block.
Right. But like I said, I'm going to add this to the side. These type of vehicles, 1.4, people they suffer to this type of things. That's why a lot of people sell them, and they never find what's wrong with it because they started changing everything, and we're realizing it's the stupid turbo. Because this thing right here is something that go up and down. When it gets hot, it expands. When it bends up, it's open. So even though if you're driving normally,
most of those are they're called.
You know how?
yours.
Right,
No.
right.
No. A lot of times those come out.
Right, but those is the
Don't.
whole kit because I researched it completely because I know how many parts I needed to bring back this car to life. Make any sense? So, so
If that's the problem.
I know that. Listen, if it would be if that wouldn't be no problem. Look how they look. They look kind of seized. Probably got to touch them up. That's the
Well,
only problem.
what I do first is take it apart here and see if the butterfly is bad.
We could do that, but we got to pick it up. We got to remove these and we got to move these. Oh, it's easy, and we just bend that down. Took it down, and then you're gonna see it right there. You're gonna see the crack. Sometimes they crack through here and through into the bottom, but it's that little cone right there. Get cracks all the time. But it turbo is right here, so sometimes turbo never suffers. Why I know this? Because
So when the turbo comes, does it come apart here,
yes,
or is all that with it?
I believe the whole thing, the whole
Yeah,
kick
I thought
turbo,
I saw
without
that.